This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, very good morning and good evening, everyone. Welcome back. So yesterday, I think we enabled the pipeline. So to just kind of validate how our pipeline went through and all how our components has been created, I just want to cross check that particular one once. So pipelines and releases. So it just got triggered. I think it's kind of stuck with the variable. I know this. I actually thought later that this would happen. So we need to give kind of app version to this to make it work actually. So the app version, okay, for every application it has its own different version. So that's again some other problem. So for front end it is 0.0.20, and then for payment it is 0.0.5. Okay, so like this you have multiple versions. So either you hard code these particular ones to get it, otherwise we kind of write some automation to find out these particular versions as well. I think we already have some kind of automation we can use for finding out this particular one. So let me just grab the IntelliJ idea, grab the code, and also let me log into Amazon. And here yeah, this is one thing I had to do that. So let me cancel the pipeline. And go to the DynamoDB. Let's delete this log. Okay. So now, so these guys actually should pull the information of what version it is holding, right? So let's go and find it out. I think we have some curl commands actually to get that information, right? So we'll just use that. Where am I thinking? Common tasks. Download with call. Okay, download. Where I think I opened the right code. Yes. Are we still doing the download with call? What am I doing? Mm, are we not using? Okay, have we not set up the version base? Then what is the point of pulling the version? So let me just go and cross check the payment. Like yesterday, the AMI happened. I would like to see the output. Is it happening with the call? Set up OS prerequisites, disable auto shutdown, delete parent directory, download an archive payment on, download an archive. Oh, my bad. So still actually it's going with the call command. So there is, it's still not using the latest version basically. I mean, so whatever the version we are parsing, it's not really, Ansible is really not using it. Huh. And we need to download it from the Azure artifacts, right? So you remember that? So we kind of, I think I shown the manual process, but I think we didn't actually went with um, automating that particular effort. I think. Come on, I'm passing. I'm passing every information actually. I thought it's done. If I just go to the AMI and if I look into the instance.ef, so in the AMI creation, so I'm actually trying to kind of environment artifact version I'm doing, pat I'm following, I'm passing, all this information I'm doing. So where then I'm using pat? Confused. Okay, so let me just check on the main side. Nothing will be there. Okay, let me go on to the Java side. Anything I just shared here? Compile, no, nothing. So instead of download with call, okay, so Java, if you take, it is actually taking download with call. This need to be changed. Let me create a new file. I thought it is done basically. Then we have some pending tasks here. Let me complete this. So download from aged artifacts dot YAML. Okay, from Azure artifacts I want to do it. Okay, so from Azure artifacts, how can I do it? I want to take a test machine to try it out. Let me go to EC2. And again, another bad thing is yesterday I didn't test try it. My bill would have went crazy. I always doing this mistake. Unnecessary billing yesterday. From yesterday, you'll be seeing this particular billing. Um, okay. So yeah, the instance is already there. There's no point of creating another instance. So let me go to my workstation. And sudo su, no, or sudo ssh. I'll go to one which is probably front end. Any machine is okay. I'll just start with front end just to test my automation, how it is working. That's it. So here, Ansible hyphen pull. So we'll just run that command. That command actually is here. Ansible hyphen pull localhost, and this one, and the component actually is yeah, component is front end. Probably tag also, I'll say that tag front end. Okay, I'll execute this command. Now I just want to make some changes. So here front end is calling kind of task main.yml file. It's actually calling download with call, something like that, right? Download and an archive artifact URL. So directly I have written here. Directly I have written. Seriously. This should not be a common content, so it actually should do with the call, but I think the directories might be different, so that's the reason I might have used this. So let's make it a holistic way. So then here I wanted to, so first of all we are going to delete the old content, create the content, so it's quite common here also. So then first thing I'm going to say this. Okay, so so delete old directory, new directory, this is fine. And once after this is done, so first of all you need to install the Azure artifacts in the system. So you need to go with no, first of all agent CLI. Agent is not there. First of all, I have to install agent CLI. Okay, so agent CLI. Okay, so how do you install agent CLI? So first of all, install. So you have to go with RHEL Fedora and this one. So this file needs to be there. And then tasks, and then agent.repo, paste it. So this particular file you need to copy. So copy. So but before do that, if agent CLI is not there, okay, so check if agent is not there, check if agent CLI is not there, then follow the steps, then follow the remaining steps. Okay, so how do I check it up? Okay, so I will check by using name. So by using so agent CLI, and so here I am going to go with the shell command. So which agent, so which agent is going to help us, which agent? Okay, so echo dollar question mark. If the command is there, then you'll get the exit status 0. Okay, so which agent, and the register is actually going to be out variable, and also sometimes it might be an error also. So why? Because ignore underscore errors is yes. Okay, so if the agent is not there, I'm just kind of doing a validation basically. I'm not really going to fail it out here. Okay, so that's where ignore underscore errors is yes, so that means even if it is a failure it will ignore. Now from here copy Azure so Azure repo file. So this will be done only so when we do something like this. So copy and a copy src, which is agent.repo file, and the destination is actually going to be is /etc/m.repos.d /agent.repo. Okay, but when you want to do that, when out.rc, when out.return code, if it is not equal to 0, okay, if it is not equal to 0, then you do it. So that's what I'm telling. Okay, or I want to put this in a whole block. Basically, all these things should be done in a single block kind of thing. So that is also possible. Rather than I want to put a when condition so many times, I want to put a when condition only once, but I want to run multiple tasks. So until now we didn't got this scenario, but Ansible has that. Okay, so block in Ansible, blocks Ansible. Okay, so if you go with a block, okay, you can write a block, and inside that you can write multiple. So block can be given one when condition basically. Okay, so this is what I wanted to do. So now I'm going to say that name, install, and configure agent CLI. Okay, so I would like to go and say block and name. Um, so the next one is this when condition also should not be really needed here for this task. So this can be here itself. Yeah. So the next one is you copy the Azure CLI, and after that what install Azure CLI. Okay. So one second. Yeah. So install Azure CLI. All right. So install Azure CLI. So yum based package, name is this one, and the state is present. Okay. So the next one. And the next one is what is next? So you have to go with Azure login, but no, Azure login, we don't do that. So because we will go with Azure DevOps login. And over here, what I wanted to do next is I need to configure the Azure DevOps extension. How do you go with the Azure DevOps extension? I think here, character feed, universal, something, get the tools. Yeah, here is a command, install Azure DevOps extension. Install Azure DevOps extension. Okay, so how do you do that? So it's a shell command, you just do this. Okay, that will take care. So name. What next? You have to do with the Azure login. Okay, so first of all I just want to do this much. So I want like to go and say fail here shell command, and I want to paste false. I intentionally want to fail here. I want to test until this section how it is working. And so now here, so basically what is happening, you're actually giving home RoboShop here, so that's the reason we cannot actually kind of integrate this with the front end, because front end requires the directory which is this one, right? So now I would like to take this and or let me put this way. Let me go to catalog, let me go to Java. Okay, you are including a whole new role. All right, so I think this is the one I should be doing it, and include role for include common role for Azure DevOps artifacts. Okay, so you get the artifacts and include underscore role, which is common, and the file is basically is um, download hyphen from hyphen aged hyphen artifacts dot yml. Okay, and here I would like to send the vars saying that I want to send some variables saying that so artifact underscore path is this one. Okay, now I am sending forcefully that information. Okay, I'm passing that information here. Okay, I'm passing that information here, and it just take this information and goes as a variable. So now here what you have to do is what is the path you need to make it here. The path I need to make it here is this one, and path I need to make it here is this one. That's it. I just kind of made it in a holistic way. That's it. Now I will just go and So fail here, what is the problem there? So shell false is a boolean, I have to keep it in quotes. Okay, and so here become true is there, right? But why become true is not working? Delete friend and directory is fine. So create friend and directory, fail to change the ownership of temporary Ansible files despite that. Unable to do that. I don't know. Mm, okay, become underscore user. Okay, okay. So here is something, right? So this also I need to handle. So here, I mean, I would say that, b user is root here, and I'm sending that information is b user. So, and the current thing, whatever you're doing, which would lead to one interview question basically. So some people usually ask, if everything is automated, what is your role basically? What do you do? So don't expect the automation to work smooth as possible. A small change need a lot of code change. So someone needs to be there all the time to kind of do the things. And the changes is quite common in the changes are quite common in what we say in agile world basically. Okay, so that's what it is. So now I think install Azure extension is fine. So the next thing is Azure extension is fine. So but I wanted to kind of do a agent login basically. So how do we do the agent login is here agent DevOps login, agent DevOps login. So it usually asks for the path, but I would like to give that particular path from echo pipe agent DevOps login. Will it take it? Yes. So this is how I wanted to do that. So pat login I want to make it. So yeah, I just want like to go with just to ensure that, so I want to bring out of the block. This is only about the installation, install and configure agent CLI or install agent CLI. That's it. Okay, don't go beyond that. So here the pat I want to bring out of that. So here, because pat is a kind of authentication, sometimes this pat changes, pat gonna expire sometimes. Okay, so we from the automation, if we change that particular pat, so here if I keep it in this block and agent is already installed, it will never change the pat. So pat registration I would like to do all the time. Okay, in agent CLI. Okay, in agent CLI. And so it's gonna be shell echo pat pipe agent DevOps login. Okay, so kind of name which it is configure pat agent CLI. Yeah, so you just configure the agent pat CLI. A name I want to fail here, just fail here just for testing. Okay, so shell just push the code. Now I kind of configure this. So configure agent PS CLI is working fine. Okay, cool. And the next one which I wanted to do is I want to download the package. So here is how it is. So agent universal download, this one, and project is DevOps 53. The scope is project, and the feed is DevOps 53. Name of the package. Okay, like let's say front end. Okay, and version. How do I get the version? We already ran some CLI commands to get the versions, if you remember, and the path is dot something like that. Okay, this is the command I wanted to run, but I need to give the version. So yeah, the version is coming as a part of variable. So now here I would say here, or let me just go to cd/usr share usr share nginx. You put this command and the version is 0.0.20. So now here it is not done. Basically, I think you need to install libicu somewhere. It will tell you in this complete message. You'll find out something that libicu is missing, and that's the reason it is not able to do that. Okay. So the package which you need to install here is not only the agent CLI. So here you need to install libicu. It's a .NET package. Okay. So for time being, I'll just install manually. Install libicu. If this is the command to download, so now I would like to say that name download artifacts. Okay, so now the front end is the name of component. It's a capital component or small component. Yeah, capital component. And the version is, yes, now that version wherever it is coming from here, yeah, app artifact version, this version I'm going to pick it up. Okay, so it's going to download that particular artifact. All right, cool. Okay, so this is the code. I want to make it enhanced. If I just go and try to remove these false, and if I run it, Since when I was on mute? Not sure. So CHDIR. So I mean, by default is actually shell is trying to execute in some other directory, but I want to download the artifacts in the Azure path, artifact path. Okay, so I'm just telling that particular path. And again, I'll go and run this. Okay, cool. All right. So now your Nginx is restarted. It is fine. So now it's downloading the artifacts. Okay, cool. Now my job is to find out this latest version. So how do I do that? I think we already did that by using. We are already doing that by using AWS CLI. I have shown you, right? Or not AWS CLI. Azure CLI API. Azure API. I have shown you. How do you find out the latest version? Latest version. What is available? Or you can find out the image, whatever the version is available, the latest one, you can use that. Okay, so how do you do that? Yeah, I think yeah, let me go to my workstation. So aws ec2 describe hyphen images. Okay, enter. And I think I have to provide some region if it is all not there. So images side describe images is the only option. So I think hyphen owners I will give, because the describe images is gonna, it's kind of get it probably from whole internet. I mean internet in the sense of whole accounts. It's the machine is hung. It's not accepting any connections. Okay. Yeah, let's reboot it. The reboot is also kind of hung. Stop. And then you get a force stop option. Something wrong with this system, my workstation. Let it come in the meantime. This is the only machine which I have a chance to get into the other machines. Okay, so let me go to the, in the meantime, practice. That's the only mission I configured AWS CLI, I think. Okay. Name some test machine. Now it came to stop. Okay, I'll look into that again. So let's go to this test machine. So AWS configure. I think I need to go to IAM. This is the access key. And you get the security key. And ES-east-1. So AWS EC2 describe hyphen images hyphen owners. So I have to give my owner ID better. My owner ID is this one. Even if you go here also, you'll find it out. This is your owner. You are going to get the list of images, and out of these, I am looking for pipe jq dot images. Okay, so images is a list, so it's a square bracket dot, and I'm looking for image name. So where is my image name, image location, name? There it is. Yeah, so from this you're going to let's say xargs, remove the quotes, xargs -n1. Okay, so pipe grep for let's say a component. So front end, the front end is a component, and pipe sort actually is going to come the last one at the ending. So pipe tail -1, and out of this, so then you remove that particular one. All right, remove that front end, actually you get the version. So this is the actual image which is available. Now I go back to the Azure DevOps, I go to the pipelines, I go to the releases, and I'm going to tell to my this one that you get the release name by using this. Okay, so the Terraform apply. So before to this, I just want to say that, so in a version is equal to dollar, you just put this. Okay, and over here you're going to grab the component, which is the component I would like to grab here is variables, predefined variables, variable groups. So there are no variables here. Okay, so that means okay, here you can keep front end only because this is front end. So front end pipe sort tail -1 and pipe sed -e. So search for front end hyphen and replace it with nothing. Okay, so this is which variable I want to make it is. If I go to the make file, no, not this, vars.tf, you require app artifact version. So this is tf underscore var underscore this one. Okay, and I want to put this as an environment variable, so then I'll say that export this variable. Okay, so click on save, and I will go and click on create release. Let's see what happens here. If this works to this, then I will go with the next version. I mean, next components, and I will set up those particular components so that the next time the pipeline run will happen with smoother. It's failed. Okay, the reason for the failure is so the query did not given any results basically. Why query did not give any results? Okay. Okay, where is this variable been using? App underscore artifact underscore version and data. So here you are getting the, okay, we're going to front end, right? Sorry. Front end, I'm seeing vars.tf app artifact version. So ASG app artifact version you're sending, and I go to the ASG and I go to the ASG. Okay, so var.component hyphen var.app artifact version. So that is the reason it didn't able to find it out. Okay, but it is supposed to find it out. Why? Because we are pulling the appropriate artifact version only, right? So then why it is saying it doesn't found out any information? So I will just go with the edit release only. Go to the tasks. I will just give dollar. Let's deploy this. Okay, AWS CLI is not working as expected. All right, I know it. So then I'll go with the edit pipeline. And I'll say if you're using AWS CLI, so better use 18 version. I don't know. Still, I need to find it out. What is the reason it is breaking? So save it. For a release. Let's break here. Create it. Oh, again error. Okay, empty. And if you must specify a region. So this is also still a problem. So I will just go with edit release, not a pipeline. I'm just going to do it locally and see how it works. And but where is AWS CLI is running? Yeah, here. So hyphen region US hyphen east to hyphen one. Cool. So this time actually it went through. Yeah. So those are the changes which I need to make it. So edit pipeline line is to -1. So these are the two commands which I have to add it to everyone. Okay. So go to the pipelines and go to the I think ALB requires it. I don't think so. Does ALB is expecting that variable? App version? No. And ALB don't require. Workstation startup you don't require. And databases, are we using it? Terraform databases, where's app artifact version? No. Databases, we're just using it directly. But these things, cart you require. Okay, first agent, let it put to 18 and Terraform apply. And you say this is what cart, right? So if it is cart, you have to say it is cart. If it is cart, you have to say it is cart. Done. Catalog, first agent, let's put it to 18. And over here, which it is catalog, which it is catalog. Okay, so just click on save. So go with the pipeline and go to the payment and go to here, first agent, tin version, form. Okay, user and shipping. Okay, so let's wait and see whether our pipeline creation pipeline is going as expected or it's failing something. Let's see. I think almost all good, so I don't see any problem. Okay, so let's go and once this is done, we can destroy the environment. It's really not necessarily not needed. And some code need to be modified everywhere. Why? Because mm, yeah, over here in Ansible, so we just only change something which is related to the front end. Okay, so front end, what you're telling, this is the path you're telling. Okay, but if I go to the here you say task java.yml, so here actually it's happening. It should go this way. So here this one, it actually goes as a /home/ roboshop component. Okay, and this is also roboshop user. All right, so this is something I just need to change it everywhere. Node.js also not download with anymore, and Python also not download with call anymore. Okay, so download with. So this is some change I need to make it, and the next time um, So I think this is all fine here. So yeah, pipeline went fine, all the environment is fine. So the next thing is I would like to destroy this. This is really not needed. So just reverse that. That's fine. So all the code is ready. I think in the next time when the image is happening, so we probably download it from Azure Artifacts properly. Okay, so that is how it is. Okay, so now, yeah, now once the environment is running, so we want to know which component is running, which component is a failure. We kind of get that particular metrics. How do you get that metrics? So probably we need to add monitoring. Okay, so that's where we are supposed to start with monitoring. I think we are supposed to start monitoring today. We didn't start it. So because yeah, so this issue came out, we didn't observe that. All right, so anyhow, we sorted out that one. So the next one, so probably I think today it is a bit early, but we'll bit hold today, and we'll start the Prometheus monitoring in tomorrow session. Okay, so that's what I would say. Yeah. Any questions? Any questions? Okay. All right. So no questions. We'll meet in tomorrow session. So tomorrow we're going to start with Prometheus monitoring. So we will kind of start with the basics, and we'll try to automate and embed the things into our project. Okay, that's how we proceed, and see you tomorrow. Bye. Good day.